Trying to hang curtains on sloped narrowboat walls? Yes, I had the same problem until I discovered this little trick. I hadn't touched a sewing machine in 45 years, but I found a way to sew, hang and magnetically lock my curtains in place. In this video I show exactly how I designed, stitched and installed DIY curtains that don't flap, sag or have awkward gaps, plus the magnetic twist that solved everything. Let's get to it. Right, at the start of this I decided to go for the colour curtains that I really wanted. You can probably guess what they are. A nice red colour, or slightly purple perhaps. Now these are ready-made curtains. The reason I wanted to do that because they were the right width but the length was just a bit too long. But I had a plan for the excess that's going to be cut off. I did start out by trying to find professional seamstresses. However, I did contact two of them, but neither decided to give me a call back to see what I wanted. So I decided the best way, and perhaps the cheapest way, is to buy myself a sewing machine, which would have cost me probably about the same, if not a bit less, than it would have to get them adjusted professionally. And I think I've done a reasonable job. Now these ones, as you can see, hopefully you can see, they're the right width, but they are a bit too long because I want them to be just about the similar length, if not slightly longer, maybe an inch or so, on those curtains there. So I need to cut some of the bottom off there. That bottom bit I'm going to show you in a few minutes what I'm going to be doing with that bit. I need to obviously seam the bottom and apply my magic magnetic trick. I've actually got 6 curtains to make or adjust. One I've got behind me I'm going to be showing you today. The rest I'm going to be doing over the next few days. So all you will see today is maybe 1 or 2 of the curtains actually finished. With the offcuts, I've got these things here. Now this is actually a form of a curtain. It's actually called a bung, B-U-N-G. And the excess material off the bottom of the curtain I'm actually going to cover this with so it matches. And they go in the portholes, which are down the other end of the boat, in the bedroom area. So first job to do after letting you know all of that is to measure them. Now most of my curtains are 120 centimeters wide, which just happens to be how wide the curtains are. The height is going to be from the top there down to there. You can see I've made it a bit longer, so it just comes just above the bit on the curtain there, so that's 85 centimeters on those. Now that's for 4 of my curtains are going to be that length. The 5th one, I've got one at the end, which is on the front door of the boat at the bow. I've got a window that's only 106 centimeters, which is behind the camera there. The one at the end there, as I said, that's 80 centimeters wide. Now this is the design that I made up for the people I was going to get the curtains adjusted by, to say, because they're exactly what I was looking for. As you can see, the curtain rings are at the top. You may have seen them just a moment ago. And the position of the 3 magnets, that is one of the magnets. I'm going to have 3 magnets per curtain. That should work quite well. And that's the dimensions that I've worked out of what I needed for each curtain. So in the best tradition of all sorts of programs, from cooking programs through to, well, just about anything I suppose, here is one I made earlier. I had to try one out just to make sure I could do it before I embarrassed myself completely. As you can see there, they're the rings. And this one I've already connected the magnets, and you can see they're sticking together. So I just want to show you roughly what it looks like. And the magnets stick in again, which is what I want, of course. And the idea is when the magnets are attached, I'm going to attach a metal plate to the wall just there, and the curtain will stick to that metal plate there. But I'll show you once I've removed this, put the rail up, and then hung the curtains. So I think what I'm going to do is actually do that first, is remove that rail, hang the new pole, so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, and then I'll show you me actually sewing the next curtain ready to go up just over there. Alright, so now I need to figure out how to take this down. I've not actually looked at this yet, so it's just some Velcro holding that front fascia on. This flat. Bit hard on the shoulders, but that's them done now. That's down. I just want to quickly show you something. If you don't like spiders, don't live on a boat. Even in winter time, we get them. And now, considering we're what, 2 days before Christmas, I've got a spider making a nice web inside my boat. I'm not going to disturb them if I can help it. Alright, next job after I've removed those blinds. These are my new rail. Just trying to figure out how I put it all together. And that locks the length like that. And I've got some ends to go on there. They just screw in, which I'll do in a moment. Now, I don't know what they've made this wood out of, but it's hard. So what I'm going to try and do is to use the screw holes that we've had before with the new screws that I've got here. So first of all, put that one in there. Okay, so that looks about right. And just step back and have a look here. Yep, I like that. Let's get my curtain that the one I made earlier. I get it the right way round. Oh, it's not too bad. So next step is to get rid of this gap I've got here. You can just see the light coming through. So I need to make sure the curtains will go roughly in that sort of position there. So how do I do that? Well, I'll show you. So how do I get the magnet that's sewn into the curtain there to stick to the wall? Well, the wall is made of wood. As you may know, magnets don't stick to wood. So what did I do? Well, I bought this kit off that famous company beginning with an A and rhymes with a river in South America. It gives you a little metal disc with a hole in the middle and a magnet. Now they stick together. So I've already got the magnet sewn into the curtain, so I need to attach, if I can get this piece of metal off my magnet. Let me get another one for now. I've got this metal disc, my screw. I need to screw it into that wall, so let me mark the positions first. I've got my chalk. That's over that side there, so I want it to be round about that position there for the magnet. There. So that's one. Keep it sharp. Obviously secure. And let's go there. Right. Now, as I said before, this wood is super hard, so I might have to figure out how I could drill a little hole to get my screw in. This is like just a very small screwdriver. Just going to make a mark where I want it to start. Fine. So get through it. At least you know it's going to hold properly. There you go. That's the magnet holding nicely. Exactly what I was looking for. Yes, I like that. Let's get on to do the other two. Smack. First. Okay. So 3 metal plates in place. As you can see, I can pull the curtains all the way to one side, or I can just close them up like that, and the magnets go on there. Perfect. That is actually exactly what I was looking for. As you can see now, the gap there is minimal now, but it is consistent, goes right down the side. The advantage of having these curtains as well, I didn't mention before, is they're actually thermal curtains as well, so that keeps some of the heat in, which is great. And of course, privacy, that's another important part. One final bit just to finish off these curtains is to put on the ends, which go on the ends of the poles. That'll help to stop them from falling off, and of course it's decorative as well. And they just screw into the end. Yeah, I have to say I'm really pleased with that. All I've got left now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curtains to do still, plus my 3 bungs. I'm running a bit short of time now. As I said earlier, it's only a couple of days before Christmas. I need to get back this afternoon to start getting ready for all of that. I've still got some presents to wrap, so that's obviously very important. But what I want to do before I go is to actually show you how I make one of the curtains, how I mark it up, measure it, do the seam at the bottom to get the magnets in the right place. So let me just move my sewing machine out of the way and get started. I've got next curtain to make. I'm only going to do the one today for you, and then hopefully in next week's video I'll show you the whole lot completed. So the next one is actually the same as the one I've already made, so it needs to be 85 centimeters high. The width is exactly as it should be. Now I need to add an extra 2 centimeters on the bottom, so it's 87 in total. So I've got my pins to pin it up in the right place, tape measure of course, and my tailor's chalk. So now I've got limited space, so I'm going to have to improvise on how I measure this. That's it. That's it. Now the trick is I'm going to have to try and get that line all the way across and get it as accurate as I possibly can. So what I'm going to do is to do a different way. Rather than measuring from the top, I'm going to actually measure from the bottom and then make a line all the way across there. So get that to stay in one place. Let's measure that one first, from there to there. You can see exactly as it should be. That's 50. I'm sure there's a easier, more professional way of doing this, but this is just what I've worked out for now. If I had loads of space and tabletop surface, then I would do it there. Even my floor is quite small, so I don't think I'd be able to get it on there and do it down there. So now I have to cut this along that line. So I think to help me, what I'm going to do is to actually draw the line with the chalk, just so I can guide it when I'm cutting. Let's move that up, get my scissors, and then we're going to cut that bottom bit off. If I just get my bung, I just want to show you very quickly. I'm definitely going to have enough material because that's where I'm doing the cut. So that's the material, so that's going to be folded over like that, obviously cut to shape, sewn together, and that'll cover that nicely. Right, scissors, where are you? Right, about to start cutting. As you can see, it's not a professional job, but it's just to show you that even granddads can do sewing and make curtains and this sort of thing. So I would encourage anybody to try. If you go onto YouTube, there's lots of videos on there showing you how to do things, pretty much anything. I haven't particularly googled this because I think I've got just about enough skills to make it work. I reckon professional seamstresses have got much better equipment than I have, better scissors, a big tabletop, and that's that done. Right, that's the cut done. I need to get my 3 magnets, that's 1. And these magnets are actually helpfully separated by a little plastic sleeve, which makes it a bit easier getting them out. That's 2. There's 3 there. But what I do need to do is to measure where my magnets are going to go. So see, one's going to go at the end, just about there somewhere. So I don't actually have to mark that, but I do need to mark the middle, where the middle magnet's going to go. Again, not super accurate, so all I'm going to do is fold it over to find the halfway point, just there. And I make a mark there. So to help with the sewing, what I'm going to do is to pin it up, fold it over into a seam, so it'd be a bit like that, and then put a pin in just to hold it in place, so that makes it easier when you actually come to do the sewing. And this is where I actually put the magnet inside and pin it in to that first section. Now it's important to get the magnet the right way round. And you can see there's just like a smooth side there, which is the back of it, and that's the actual magnetic side. So I need to have that facing the front of the curtain, which in this case is just there, that way around. Do the fold like that, that's where it's going to go. Just putting that there to hold the magnet in place. And then we get our roughly 1 centimetre tucked under, like that, folded over, and then folded it once more. And that'll make a nice seam once it's sewn up. And try and get that seam as consistent as possible, going all the way along. So just coming up to the middle bit where the middle magnet got to go. So I'm going to put a pin in that way, side on. That just holds it going sideways, and again get my magnet the right way around. Just put one the other side just to hold the magnet in place. I'll just come into the end where the other magnet goes. Right, so that's all the pins in place. I need to set the sewing machine up. Right, that's the sewing machine set up, ready to go. And the reason I've got the sewing machine, this one actually cost what, less than £90 off the internet, which is roughly around about 100 US dollars, so very cheap. I reckon I would have paid more than that to have the curtains altered professionally, so I thought I'd have a go myself, because I have used one many years ago. This here is the foot pedal, or the speed control. So I've taken the first pin out, so I'm just going to do like a stop stitch at the end. Let's turn it on first. I'll show you some close-ups in a sec. Good. Perfect. Just spin it around. I just reversed it there, just to, that like locks the stitch at the end so it doesn't come undone easily. And then I'm just going to hold the curtain and the seam so that it goes through nice and evenly, or as evenly as possible, let's say. It won't be a professional job, but it'll be good enough for me. Just take it slow and steady. Let's try and show you a close-up of this. Alright, just coming up to the middle magnet. So what I'm going to do is to go up to around about there somewhere, and then do my double stitch each side of the magnet. Now that you've seen me put up the one curtain, I'd like to ask you a question. Would you try this magnetic trick or stick with rails? If you don't know what I mean by rails, it's like a bar that sits in front of the curtains and that you tuck behind the curtain. It's either made of wood or metal. Would you rather have that, or try this magnetic trick? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious at what you would do. I dare say by the time I get to the last one I'll be doing it a bit quicker. As I've said a few times, it's been 45 years since I've touched a sewing machine. So I think I'm doing alright. I'm just coming up to the end where the magnet is again. So I'll do exactly as I did in the middle. I suppose there's some way of me actually putting the magnets in afterwards, which probably would make the sewing a bit easier. But hey, I'm a guy. Okay, let's do the end stitch and then that'll be it. Right, that is done. That's the end magnet. All I have to do now is just tidy up any of these stray threads. If I show you the stitch, hopefully you can see that fairly well. Very nice, I like that. I think that's actually better than the first one, so very happy with that. Okay, that is the curtain done, the second one, and I must say it's slightly better stitching wise. The consistency is better than the first one, so maybe by the last one it'll be perfect. We shall see. So before I have to go today, I'm just going to change this one here, take this down, put the new curtain up. At last, that's all three out. Then I need to get another rail. Again, I just ordered these online, so I like the look of them. That's it. So that's that put together. I won't fix the length yet until I've got the hooks up ready to put the pole in. Couple of screws out. I'm going to put them in the same holes I had before. I didn't show you before, there's actually a screw underneath there that locks the pole in place, which I haven't tightened up yet on the other curtain, so we'll see how that goes. Good. Again, get it the right way around. So the seams are on the inside, is what I mean by that. Yeah. Right, next is to mark up with my chalk where the little plates go for the magnets, and if you can see there, well, I've unfortunately got a little gap there, which I obviously measured something wrong. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. I think I want my magnet just about there somewhere, so let's make my little guide hole for the screw so the metal plate can go in. That's all three holes made ready for the metal plates to go in. This is the first one. And the last one over here. I know you can't see, but that's because it's behind the curtain. Right, so that's just about complete. Across and just check these are in the right place. Oh, look at that, I've got my magnet the wrong way around, so it won't stick. Easily turned around. There you go, perfect. And that one's wrong as well. See, I told you it wasn't all perfect. And yeah, that is exactly how I wanted it. I'll show you close up in a moment. I'll just put these on the end. Yeah, I like that. Well, I have to say I'm really pleased with those. You can see how the curtains are sloping back now against the side of the boat, which is sloped in. Those magnets are really holding them nicely. Exactly. And for once I can actually walk past here without crashing into the blinds. I think the curtains on this side of the boat really get a massively different feel. I love this side now with the curtains as they are, as opposed to the other side which has still got the blinds on. Something I'll complete next week. And if this helps you out, give it a quick like. It really helps more boaters find DIY solutions like this. And if you're into quick fixes for narrowboat life, have a watch for next week's video, which I'm going to show you a 60-inch cinema screen. And can I fit that in the boat? I think I can.